But while cancer screening can save lives, it's been well documented, many women in our area are still missing them.
First Alert 6's Brenna Kiefner joins us live in the newsroom with the story of two local survivors who say early testing made all the difference. Brenna.
Brian and Aaron, state health data shows nearly a third of Nebraska women are not getting recommended mammograms. And in Iowa, late-stage diagnoses are more common, making treatment a little more complicated and survival harder. For two women here in our community, early detection is why they were able to share their story with me today. Deb Grave Morrison just finished her second battle with breast cancer.
So that was the motivation, going through chemo and everything, was to make it to the wedding.
Sarah Pfeiffer was diagnosed last year after choosing to get a double mastectomy when she learned she carried the BRCA1 gene.
In my case, my pathology came back a week later and I had breast cancer.
On very different journeys, both women share the same message.
Do you think that if you didn't go early, that you would be here?
No.
I'm confident if I wouldn't have caught that at that mammogram, if I would have waited an entire year for my next mammogram, I would be in a much different situation today.
Here in Nebraska, the gap in screenings remains a concern. DHHS data shows the mammography rate is 67.6%, meaning more than 30% of women are skipping their recommended exams. Iowa sees higher rates of late-stage diagnoses, which can make treatment more difficult. At UNMC, an oncologist says barriers like cost, lack of insurance, transportation issues, and fear or uncertainty about the process keep women from getting screened, but recommended that women need to start learning about their individual risk as early as possible.
Some women are at a higher risk of developing breast cancer than the average risk. The average risk is 1 in 8, almost 13%. But some women can be a 30, 40, 50% chance of developing a breast cancer in their lifetime.
Advocates say the first step is getting screened because early detection opens the door not only to better outcomes, but also to support. Groups like Project Pinked and the Susan G. Komen Foundation provide that community and help survivors like Sarah and Deb turn their experiences into encouragement for others.
If you feel a lump or you feel like something isn't right, have it checked out right away.
Because we are our own best advocates, and I learned it, I wouldn't say the hard way, but I'm grateful for the way that I learned it in.
And both women are now cancer-free. But during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, they hope more women in Nebraska and Iowa will keep up with their routine mammograms. If you're due for one, local options are available through Project Pinked and the Susan G. Komen Foundation. In the newsroom, Brenna Kiefner, First Alert 6.
Yeah, they do great work. Thanks, Brenna. Returning now to the news.